is Moses, who's been involved with Occupy Sudbury.
Moses.
My name is Moses Goldman. I've been involved with the Occupy movement of Sudbury since the beginning of November, and I've seen a lot of people come and converge through our freedom of assembly to advocate for changes so that we don't have impoverished Canadians with no work, no food in their belly, and no roofs over their head. And I just wanted to take a minute and discuss a year in my life where I spent 8 months on a kibbutz in Israel, and I saw roughly 600 people with work, roofs over their head, food in their belly, and a few bucks to boot. I've been wondering since 1994 if that's ever going to happen across Canada. Some people would say that small communities like Ingersoll, Ontario, Ajax, Ontario, Sudbury, Ontario, I would say Sudbury is a viable small city, and I would say that 600 people in a small community across Canada, amongst numbers, would translate into 60,000 jobs for Ontarians.
Thanks, Moses. Pierre is also going to share a few words with us.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pierre Duramo Langlois. I've been sober today for 25 years. I've got my medal today. I'm going to be sober till I die. My papa died of cancer. He was only 59 years old. He died 26 years ago. He had leukemia. Me too, I was born with leukemia. 5 days ago, I was 112 pounds. Right now, I weigh 176 pounds. I eat because I believe in you people that keeps me sober. I cannot stay sober by myself no more. I respect everybody that's here in the care of Jesus Christ the Lord. Jesus Christ, his mom was Mary, and God was Jesus Mary's husband. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later.
Anyone else wants to participate in the open mic at this point in time?
Hi, I'm Pierrette. 15 years ago today, we held a Camp Works conference at the Silvercrest Hall. It was the third day of the Celebration of Resistance in Ontario. We grew camp in Northern Ontario, but it's sitting in Arena in Verner because the federal government won't let us, well, the farmers do it easily. But it's actually a very logical way to create jobs and wellness in Ontario because the grain is essential fatty acids. And the cloth, everything will be environmentally friendly, and I hope everybody joins together in the wellness proposal of such an agricultural shift. Thank you very much.
Anyone else who'd like to participate in the open mic for now?
Yeah, myself, I'm Patrick Mullen. I've tried to get through to the government on a number of issues. I was miraculously healed in the car accident, and I've tried to bring in a Handkerchief of Hope program for the last couple of years. Now I have a letter in my pocket to Bartolucci's office. He probably never saw it go, like, from what I believe, because anything that is about God, it probably gets filed in G, like the guy's a piece of garbage. So, I know God can blind your eyes and ears to stuff, And sometimes that's what happens. But if they would have helped me out, like, all I want is if somebody were to be healed with that, as Paul did in the Bible, like, don't cut them off Ontario disability immediately. They might have to be retrained. Or if they get a job, then cut them off. But if they get sick again, put them back on immediately. And I cannot get through to talk to the people. The bottom line on the 4-page letter is, like, once I get it going, I would like to get it done at the 6 Kids Hospital. So that's the kind of people you are dealing with. Their eyes are closed and their ears are closed to your need.
Hey!
I just wanted to talk for a second about what it was like to actually receive my first welfare check. It was not a fun experience. First, walking into the building, just across the street here, I was terrified that somebody that I went to high school with would see me and recognize me and know what I was going in there for. I walked in there with my head down. My hair was long, covering my face. I did not want anybody to see me go in there. A couple weeks later, when I got my first check, $520, it was the most money I'd ever seen in my life, and I thought, like, okay, this will be fine. I'll make it. So I went out, paid my rent, bought groceries, and 10 days later the food ran out. I had $8 left to my name, and I had 2.5 weeks, and it really hit me. How are you supposed to survive on this? How is $520, and now I think it's $599 supposed to last somebody a month, or $1,000 last a family a month?
You wonder why the crime is so high today?
So I would like to introduce Linda McQuaid. She's an author of The Trouble with Billionaires, Gluttony, and Hubris in an Age of Epic Inequality.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here, and I kind of get a sense this is kind of a progressive audience. Sometimes I'm asked to speak to groups that are not so progressive, so it's very nice to speak to a group like this today. I guess I just want to say, like, I think it was mentioned, I wrote this book along with Neil Brooks, who's a tax professor. It's called The Trouble with Billionaires. And the trouble with billionaires is actually quite simple. They have too much money.
We haven't had trouble yet.
And, one of the terrific things, of course, has been the rise of the Occupy Wall Street movement, which has finally put that issue front and center. I mean, I love the way, you always hear the critics say, what do they mean? What's their message? What are they all about? I mean, I think it's been absolutely clear what their message has been, which is the top 1% has way too much money and way too much power. I mean, what part of that do they not understand? So let me just say that, I'm sorry, did you want to? Okay, sorry. So I'll just tell you briefly, maybe what I can add is just how incredibly, dramatically unequal things have become. I'm sure you know that from your own experience. Maybe what you don't know is that it wasn't always like that. For the whole post-war period in Canada, from basically 1945 to about 1980, we had a very different kind of country here. Not that it was perfect, lots of problems, but we had far greater level of equality, much stronger unions, much greater social supports for everyone, and all that started changing dramatically around about 1980. So you have a situation now, well, if you go back to that early post-war period, the average CEO in Canada was making